I've always struggled with healthy relationships and connection. I am really introverted and sensitive, and I just did not learn to manage my feelings well growing up. I was bullied occasionally throughout school, and I had a hard time maintaining friendships. I was often really lonely. I always felt like no one understood me or cared about how I was feeling, and that made it hard to have healthy relationships because I was really focused on myself and looking for external validation. Now, I've done a lot of work on this over the years, but it's definitely been a work in progress. So my husband and I moved to Cranbrook in the summer of 2017, and he grew up here, but I had only visited a handful of times. And all of a sudden, I lived 7 hours away from my friends, family, my home. I was in a small town with a new job, new people, new everything. And I tried to be brave, but I was extremely nervous about making friends and even just meeting people at the office. At the time, I was feeling so insecure, it was paralyzing. My husband was busy working hard at like 3 different jobs, and I felt alone in everything, and my mental health really suffered. I started not being able to focus on anything. I was constantly overwhelmed, and I had major brain fog. Eventually, I went to the doctor. I started taking anxiety medication, and I found a counselor to help. But I had already been looking at churches in town when we bumped into someone from Connect walking at Elizabeth Lake. He had gone to school with my husband, so they caught up a bit, and he invited us to go to a small group, and we said, sure, we'll check it out. And honestly, going to group was really tough for me at first because I was so anxious and depressed. I wanted to talk to people, but I also did not. I was not a pleasant person to be around. And at that point, I couldn't see where God was already working. But then people from group pitched in on our renovations. They gave me space to open up at my own pace, and I never felt pressured. Through group, I was eventually able to explore some of the things I was feeling in the context of my faith. And I started wrestling with some of the areas that God was growing me in. I started being more open to deeper connection with people, and I shared more. I started feeling more confident in who God created me to be. And then our group introduced the idea of DNA groups. So these are smaller groups of 3 people of the same sex within the group where you can really do life together and walk through the tougher personal stuff. And my DNA group has been a huge source of joy and growth in my life. And in May 2020, I started coming off of my anxiety medication. I had thought I would be on it forever, that my brain was just broken. And my small group was a huge factor in my recovery and my growth. They reminded me that God has a plan and a place for me, and that because of Him, I'm never truly alone. And they support me and help me in so many ways, but what's great now is that I can do that for them as well. Loneliness is about wanting to feel some level of social connection and comfort, of knowing that you aren't alone in this big, scary world, of knowing that you are loved by God, and of realizing how that love can overflow to others. And today I can honestly say that I love living in Cranbrook. It was the right move for us. I love my job. I love our house. I love my group and my DNA group. I'm finding a lot more joy in life now, and I don't think I would feel like that today without my group and my God. I'm just really grateful.